been through the cylinders, went from the bottom up, both sides, all new gasket seals, sealed all that up because it was leaking. We tidied up some wiring, we redid some of the dash area, and we're just checking now that it's all back together to make sure that it's going to start and run and see if there's any leaks. See, run. Let's give her some choke. Well, you can't have the kickstand down on a Moto Guzzi and actually have this thing start. So let's try it now that the kickstand's up. Voila! Yes, sir. Hurry. Well, she fired right up. Good sign, right? I reckon you want to hear a rattle. Kickstand gets me every time. The idle's just purred great. I'd say that's about 900 RPMs that she's idling at. Really good place. The charger light is just slowly glowing at that RPM. We idle it up to like 1100-1200, it goes out. Works really good for this. And I took this thing around the block. One thing I want to point out is, wow, this bike runs completely different than it did before. I think the crossover made a big difference in the mid-range, like you would expect for it to. You really notice it around 3,000 RPMs. It's really got a lot more pickup. But, you know, you only can be certain if you change one thing at a time. And we've changed several things here. We've gone to the pod filters, which will allow more air in. It got rid of that air box. We did the crossover. We reconnected that, so that adds some mid-range power to it as well. And then we sealed the engine up. So with the engine sealed up, you've got the head gaskets are sealing. Surely there's more compression there as well with the head gaskets sealed up on it. The valve train's not as noisy. So I think some of that valve tick, 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 tick that I was hearing that seemed excessive for even a Moto Guzzi was actually a little bit of an exhaust leak in the pipes and some of the other places where it was leaking, because now it just has that sewing machine sound that is typical for a Moto Guzzi. So very happy with the upgrades on this. We'll get the luggage and stuff on it, and we'll reintroduce you to this thing on that next trip coming up. Matter of fact, it's next week. I've got a motorcycle camping trip with some friends down on the lake. This will be the motorcycle of choice for me on that trip, and we'll let you know how that works out. Bad news on the Cal 3. Boy, I was hoping put it together, do some heat cycles, torque the head bolts, ride it on my big camping trip. But that's not the way it worked. I started developing this rattle sound, just like a vibration, and you got something loose and you can hear it rattling and vibrating. The second trip out, I started to notice that, and I didn't think a lot of it at the time. I came back, tightened all the bolts up, just double check everything, you know, make sure that you didn't miss anything. And took it back out, and actually it got worse. So I took all the bags off and everything so I could really hear and put my ear, you know, down to each side of the bike and try to locate it. And it definitely was coming from the back of the bike. On the way back from that trip, it got very obvious because even at low speeds, it was making those noise when it shouldn't be a vibration. Here's what I found. You can see this, and it's just pitting. And you can see this one's pitting, and it's already split this tooth, and this bottom piece is chipped out. Massive issue here across this tooth. They're all kind of halfway down into the tooth. This one as well, and it's just really wore horribly. And as I rotated this around, I seen exactly what you're seeing now. This tooth, half of it's missing. So obviously, that's my problem. Here's the good news. Every storm should have a rainbow. Several years ago, I wanted to try a 733 geared rear end in my 1100 California. I bought one, put oil in it, threw it on the bike, leaked like a seal, pulled it off, put the stock one back on, put all the seals and stuff in this new final drive, and never used it. So it was sitting on the shelf. Now that silver powder coat final drive is in the Cal 3, runs smooth, absolutely silent. I'm ready to go on that Cal 3. And this is why it is so vital to do trips and loops around close to your house when you're uncertain about a bike, especially one like this one. It's been sitting up for a very long time. And when I got it running, I even did a 100-mile loop, and it didn't make that noise. So these breaks just started happening. And I believe after I resealed the motor, it's just running so much stronger and stuff. It was a matter of time. I'm grateful this didn't happen away from the house to where I didn't have any support or anything. This would have been a mess. Anyway, update on the Cal 3. So here's what we've got to do. We've got to run some heat cycles on this motor, bring it all the way up to operating temperature, maybe take it for a couple of miles ride. Let it sit, completely cool down all the way back to air temperature, and then do that about 3 to 4 times, and then we get to reset the torque on the heads. That way we make sure we don't lose a head gasket on our first trip, which is coming up pretty soon. Till next time.